All right, guys. Today I want to talk about some of the other vocabulary we need to know in order to classify polynomials. I have to make a note that there's a funny picture of The Simpsons on the top of the sheet. These notes that I'm leaving, there's notes on the website. They should help you with a bunch of this stuff. Um, if you guys have never watched Marge versus the Monorail, it is probably one of the funniest episodes of The Simpsons. It's written by Conan O'Brien. It's very, very funny, and so it's there for a reason, and that's going to tell us our first one is that mono means one and rail means rail, okay? So there are some important terms we have to know about classifying polynomials, okay? So let's start by saying polynomials. Um, Polynomials, it means, like we said last time, this is many names, or for us it means many terms, okay? So what we need to do is, we talked about the degree the other day, so we don't have to get into that. But however many terms a polynomial has, is we have to give it a name, okay? So mono, meaning one, and rail, meaning rail. A monomial has one term, okay? So examples, okay? And I'll kind of separate these by things so we don't get confused. 5x squared. There is one term there. It is a monomial. If I just said 5, that is one term. That is a monomial. Okay. If I said 3x to the third, that is a monomial, one term. If I said 4x squared plus 2x squared, well, we know we have to combine everything first. So this looks like it's not a monomial, but when I add these two together, and I can because they have the same exponent, 4x squared plus 2x squared is 6x squared, that is a monomial, one term. If I said 15x to the 4th, x to the 5th, y to the 4th, z to the 27th, there's one term here, okay? It's a monomial. It's a very complicated monomial, but it's a monomial nonetheless, okay? So, a binomial. A binomial has two terms, okay? Bi meaning two. So if I said 5x squared plus 2x, or if I said x plus 5, or if I said 3x to the 4th plus 6y, okay? Again, there are two terms, 1, 2. If I separate them by subtraction, right, we said terms are separated by addition or subtraction. So if I said 5x to the third minus 2, binomial, okay? So these are binomials, okay? Two terms. Trinomials, okay, if you guys, trinomials, have three, right? Tri means three, right? Three terms. So the most standard one we know is x squared plus 2x plus 1, right? Three terms. If I said 14x to the 4th plus 3x squared plus 5x, right? 1, 2, 3 terms, right? So it's pretty straightforward. Again, as with monomials, if I said this, if I said 5x squared plus 2x squared plus 3x plus 4x minus 17. Well, again, this looks like it has 5 terms, but I can combine these, 7x squared, 7x minus 17, and all of a sudden, in simplest form, it's going to be a trinomial. It could also be something like 5x plus 3xy plus 2y, right? I don't have anything here I can combine, so there's 1, 2, 3 different terms. It is a trinomial, okay? So we got to simplify it, but sometimes you can't simplify things, even if their exponents are all 1. We can call any of these things, whether it's a monomial, a binomial, or a trinomial, we can call any of these polynomials. So it's a weird thing that we say polynomials even though it's one term, but technically this is a polynomial, okay? So I can call any of these polynomial, more specifically monomials, binomials, and trinomials. Not yours, but a polynomial typically, if I said 4x to the fourth plus 3x squared minus 2.5x plus 7. This is a polynomial. It's not a quadrinomial or anything like that. This is a polynomial. I'm sure there's another name for it, but typically, unless it's a binomial, or trinomial, we go straight to it's a polynomial. Okay, so if you see anything with more than 3 terms, we just call it a polynomial. But polynomial is also a general term. We call any of these things polynomials. Okay, all right. On your notes, so we got that. We got polynomial. So here's some examples on here too. We talked about classifying by degree, and then there's these right here, and that's what we're going to call degrees. Okay, so depending on the degree, okay, we talked about that last time, the highest exponent, we might have some different names we call those too. Okay, so if we had a 0 degree, okay, what that means is that you have no x value. So a 0 degree monomial would be something like 5, right? There's one term there, right? And it's got no exponent, right? It's got no exponent. There's not even an exponent of 1. This is a 0 degree monomial, and we call that a constant. Okay, and you guys should know that. Anytime we see a number just by itself, no x's, no y's, just number by itself, that is a constant. Okay, so first degree. Okay, first degree means we have an exponent of 1. So if I said 4x, okay, so this is a first degree monomial, right? A first degree binomial could look something like this. I don't know, negative 5x plus 7, okay? Whenever you have a first degree, we call those linear, and you guys should know that, right? Anything that was linear was to the first power, right? Right? And they made a line, okay? Second degree, again, by the highest exponent, okay, we could have a monomial, we could have a binomial, or we can have a trinomial. Right? Those are our options. Okay, so a first degree monomial, a second degree monomial rather, would be x squared. One term. Binomial, 2x squared plus 3, right? 2 terms, binomial. Or trinomial, like we said, 16x squared plus 32x plus 5, right? And all 3 of these, again, a term we should know, since they are raised to the second power, they are squared. We call those quadratic. Okay, so anything that's raised to the second degree, to the second power, second degree, we call quadratic. If you have a third degree, okay, that means you have an exponent of 3. We could have a monomial, binomial, trinomial, or just a polynomial with 4 terms. Okay, so again, what do we have? Third degree, third power. Binomial, right? Third power. Trinomial, x to the cube, I'll say 4x cubed plus 2x plus 7, right? Or you can have 4 terms, right? We could say 4x to the third plus 3x squared plus 2x plus 1, right? All of these, we would say, again, since it's to the third power, we call these are cubic, okay? And again, if you forget any of these, they're on your notes, okay? If it's 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, 4 term. Anything after that, if it's got 4th degree, we call it quartic. And if it's the 5th degree, we call it quintic. Those are more trivial, if anything, but they're here if you guys need them, okay? So now that you guys have a rough idea of some of the vocabulary, we'll start to talk about what all of these things are going to have, what influence it's going to have on the graphs, okay? So please take a look at these notes. Rewatch the video if you have to get the vocabulary terms, and please watch Marge versus the Monorail if you guys have Disney Plus. It's really funny. Bye, guys.